Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that, okay. I hope that you guys have had an amazing week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, welcome to you all as well. It's Dr. Nikisha Hammond here. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Hey, thanks for those who are joining here. For those of you who are tuning into the replay of this on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this page, share, and subscribe to the page. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from today. For those of you who are new, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, although typically traveling somewhere or another with this crazy journey of life, but it's all good. But again, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And hopefully my comments will come in soon so I can actually see them. But I do want to give a couple of announcements before I start today's mental health moment. For those of you who are new to mental health moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So a couple quick announcements here, and you can always uh, get more information as far as where I'm speaking or where I'm book signing or that sort of thing this year at drnikishahammond.com. So you'll see it on the screen, drnikishahammond.com/events. Good evening. Welcome from Boston's in the house. Welcome. Illinois is in the house. San Francisco. Welcome back. So that's where you can go to get more information if there's certain events you have to register obviously for. Speaking of events to register for this Friday, which is rapidly coming up, Friday, June 13th. In the evening, I will be doing a book signing at an author event in New York City. So if you are in that area, again, that's this Friday, June 13th. So I apologize if you're watching this replay after June 13th, 2025. But on Friday, June 13th, 2025, I will be, like I said, New York City. If you're in the area, drnikishahammond.com/events is where you can go to. You'll see all the other events too, but that's the upcoming event, obviously, to get information to register. Greetings from Virginia. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here, Dr. Hammond. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. The other event, well, okay. Anyways, there's another one, but it's pending. So I'll wait till that one's confirmed before I actually announce that. But nonetheless, Friday, October 24th, many of you already know, is my event that I'll be hosting this year in person. It's my Growth, Mindset, and Self-Care Summit. It will be in person this year, as I mentioned, in Atlanta. And that's at mindsettrainingsummit.com. So mindsettrainingsummit.com is where you can go to register for that. Hey, from Philly, welcome. Someone said I'm in Philly, but hello, welcome. And that will be an all-day event. It's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm super excited to be hosting this year in person. Last year, for some of you who joined me, it was virtual, and then this year it's going to be in person. So I'm excited to see everybody. The other thing I wanted to mention to you all, I actually, I'll be announcing it this week on social media. So you guys, I will tell you all first. Good evening from the Bahamas. Welcome. The other thing is in the next couple of weeks here, which is crazy. Time is flying. I will be going to Bali. Super excited about that with my family. And while I'm there, I will be starting to film my first documentary, which I'm so excited about, you all. This has been kind of years in the works here of getting all this together. But nonetheless, if you want to see some of the behind the scenes, I will be doing my best to capture as much as I can. If you're on Instagram in my stories, it's Dr. Nikisha Hammond. So be sure to follow along. And again, it's the end of June through mid-July is when I'll be there. But starting my documentary there, and super excited about it. Relating to mental health, relating to wellness. I don't want to spoil everything, but again, you can see some of the behind the scene moments on Dr. Nikisha Hammond IG stories because I'll be keeping track of a lot of different things on there. But welcome from California. Welcome. New Jersey's in the house. Lexington, Massachusetts in the house. Someone say, "Go Gators." Greetings from Florida. Yes, go Gators. I am a Gator fanatic. For those of you who don't know me, I'm actually in orange today, my Gator colors. And of course, we got to have, you know, the Gator stuff in the background. Um, oh, thank you. Someone said that's amazing. But anyhow, those were my announcements today. And again, drnikishahammond.com/events. We're trying our best, my team and I, to put the updates and the event information on there so you guys have access and can always go there to get that information. Good evening from Arkansas. Welcome, welcome. Today's mental health moment, I wanted to share with you this idea of things that you can do if you right now in your life are feeling sort of mentally stuck. Because it happens to the best of us, right? Myself included. Like all of us, we get to certain points, even if in your wellness journey, if you were at the point where you're like, things are going great, I'm good, or not, right? Wherever you're at in your own journey of life, there's just points where we have to make really important decisions. There's points where we really have to reflect on our own emotional and mental well-being and physically and spiritually, right? All of these things that we have to be thinking about. And sometimes we just get stuck, right? So I'm gonna. Oh, thank you so much from Virginia. So I want to share a couple of tips with you today of how you can work on trying to become unstuck, if you will. And again, for those of you new to Mental Health Moment, I want to remind you that there's a lot of practical tips. I've been doing Mental Health Moment now. I want to say it was 2017. I sort of lost track of time. That's how long it's been. But welcome. This is your first time. It's all good. So I share a lot of tips on here, but again, not everything is overnight. I know I sound like a broken record reminding you all, but these are things to start implementing in your life, but sometimes it just takes more. Meaning sometimes it takes the help of a mental health professional. Sometimes you need a coach. Sometimes you need a friend, family member, whomever, right? To get unstuck, if you will, or do the thing or thrive more. And that's okay. Um, so so the first tip I want to leave you with today, when you think about how do you start to mentally get unstuck, if you will, is to really start to change your environment. Because and it doesn't mean okay, let me put a pause on that. I am not telling you to just like move. Some of you may be like, I'm in a place. Should I move? Should I not? Oh, there's my sign. Move. I am not telling you to move. Physically move. Maybe you need to move or not. I don't know. But I mean, change your environment, even temporarily. Right. So, meaning sometimes we get stuck because we're in the same old routines or in the same, wherever you live, maybe the same job, like the same things that we're doing, but we don't really get out of our current routine and environment to work on just thriving more and being unstuck, if you will. So whether it's, again, it could even be just stepping outside. You all know, some of you who know me, I love nature. I love my nature walks. And just doing something to calm my mind because there's a lot happening in the world, frankly. But it could be something as simple as that. It could be a trip. It could be hanging out with a friend. It could be, right? Like it's just different things that you can do to get out of your current environment that sometimes just that rut leads to you being stuck mentally. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So this past weekend, speaking of trying to get unstuck, right? I'm a huge advocate of again getting I practice a lot of what I preach to you all, by the way. So one of the things I do love is just getting into environments that are uplifting, that will help me thrive as a person. Sometimes I'm in spaces and there's just amazing people that are helping me personally with personal development. Sometimes I'm in environments and I'm like, man, these people around me are helping me in business, or maybe it's helping me physically, even at the gym, like just being around good people, who are trying to help you get, because sometimes we get stuck in our head and our thoughts, right? Someone said, I know that's right. Sometimes we get stuck in our head and our thoughts and our emotions, and something's happening to us or to a family member, a friend. Like it's a lot. It can become overwhelming. So this past weekend, I went to a speakers conference. It was actually hosted. Some of you may have heard of Dr. Eric Thomas and my personal amazing speaking coach, Jeremy Anderson, and also Iki Johnson. They host this conference called Next Level Speakers Academy or conference, right, in Atlanta. And it was such a beautiful conference, by the way, because the speakers were amazing. There was so much we were learning. We're learning about business. We're learning about personally how to and professionally how to develop into greater, better people, right? Because we are speakers in our professions and also trying to help other people, right? Um, you're absolutely welcome. So I'm sharing that with you because while I was there, not only were the speakers like phenomenal, like people were just blowing me away. Like I just loved the knowledge that I was obtaining, but also the people in the room. Like I have a lot of, I call 'em my speaker friends, in the room, like the most caring, compassionate people. How can I support you? What do you need? You know what I mean? Like that group of people, I love. Like I'm like, I love y'all. It's like right, and mutually. Like I'm like, hey, how can I support you? How can I help? I love. First of all, I love this group. Just as an aside, because they are doing things to try to help a lot of people, which is what I do. Right. So I'm like, okay, I love that. Like people that try to help other people are my people. So anyhow, I share all this with you though because I intentionally put myself in those types of environments. Again, are you being uplifting? Are you again just change of environment? Like, and it doesn't have to be a conference, you all. It could be a conference. It doesn't have to be a conference, but I mean, putting yourself in environments. Sometimes you're solo, right? You might be like, you know what? I just need to take a walk by myself. Like that counts. Or you may say, you know what? I need to be around a group of people. You may already know who that is for you, who are just good for your soul, right? Who are good for your sanity, as I should say, who are just there to uplift you. And like, you know what I mean? Like that group, like you need that. You deserve that. Especially like I said, when we are stuck in our thoughts so many times. We tell ourselves all sorts of things that are not true. We tell ourselves stories about things that happened to us or hopefully for us and things that should have happened and didn't happen. Like we are right? We could really get stuck in again in a rut and just get really stuck mentally and just like what do I do next and not have the clarity. But again, when you take a break for your from your life and someone get into different environments and just be around good people who want you to do well and thrive. Those exist. I don't know what your, wellness journey, what part of your wellness journey you're on, but just know that exists, right? Those groups exist, but making sure to be in those spaces, right? Because that's really important. Someone said, I love that type of support. Yes, it is such a beautiful thing. And I will say, I will speak on behalf of that community. It is genuine, right? Because I'm just saying, like there's groups out there that are just not genuine, or it's like, what can you do for me? Like that sort of thing. But really, I mean, the people who are authentic, that genuinely care about you, that are trying to help you in your journey mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, like wherever you're at in your journey, like who is that for you? Right. And making sure that you put yourself in those types of environment. And it doesn't always have to be your family. I mean, it doesn't. It may be or not. It could be friends. It could be coworkers. It could be, someone at a place of worship, wherever. But like, where is that for you, right? And are you making sure to spend the time in those environments? Someone said, "I agree." Yes. Um. So absolutely. So again, I really want you to remember that and be intentional in that. So we're already in June, which is crazy, you all, right? Like we're practically halfway through the year here, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if we are on month 1 of the year. I know we have all these goals and all these things we wanna do, new year, new me, and here we are, we're already in June. It doesn't matter what month we're on though. Like, this should be something that's always intentional for you, that's always top of mind for you. How do I get out of my environment? How do I work on my mental clarity? How do I connect with people that are good for my mental health? Right? Like that, those types of steps. Continue to ask yourself, I preach often on mental health moment about checking in with yourself, but also is checking in is one thing, but it's also taking action, right? So what's the next action step you need to take? Um, someone said, yeah, someone said when you pay for the next level, you get next level like-minded individuals. Absolutely. Absolutely, you really do. And yeah, speaking of next level, which is the name of that group. I mean, it really is. Like it's all about that, like getting to the next level in multiple areas of your life, frankly. But also it's so great to be around like-minded people, which is what I want for each and every one of you too. Whatever your wellness goals are, even if you said, you know what? I really want to walk each day. That's my goal. Let's say that's your goal. Is there someone else that can help you with that? Do you have an accountability partner? Do you have someone that can say, "Hey, did you walk today?" Or do you have someone that can say, "Hey, I'm going to go and walk with you." Even better. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but in some way, whether they're on the phone or texting you or there with you in person, like who, right? Who is working to help and uplift you? And those people exist. Like I said. So that's tip 1. The other thing to do, I've talked about this on Mental Health Moment before a while back, actually, but I want to remind you to do what's called a brain dump. This is something I love to do, frankly. If you're in a space again where you're like, man, I just need some clarity. I got all these things going on. Sometimes we mentally do this whole like pros and cons list in our head, which is not a bad thing to do if you have an important decision. But sometimes it's really, really overwhelming because you're like, oh, here's the pros. Okay, this is a good thing. Here's a con. Okay, all these things are happening, but then you just either get lost in your thoughts or like very overwhelmed. So, a brain dump is essentially what it sounds like. It is writing it all down. And it can literally be on your phone. If you're, a fast typer, you just want to go to like a note section or something like that. Get your thoughts out of your head. Do whatever works for you. If you're a pros and cons list type of person, do that. If you're just, I just need to kind of dump and almost like journal style, like write out all your feelings, do that. It could be on a piece of paper. If you're old school, and you want to write it on a piece of paper, go ahead. There was this speaking of brain dump, it's okay, I don't want to steal someone else's activity, but I was at this conference, I will say, this virtual conference. Oh gosh, when was that? It was a while back. I think it was a couple months ago. And what was so interesting, the host made us, it was sort of like a brain dump, but more of like our limiting beliefs. It was a very powerful exercise, actually. And what we did, this is literally a virtual conference, but we took video of this. We went outside and we took the notes that we did and we burned it. Like we literally lit it on fire. I mean, obviously safely, and watched it burn. Like those were our limiting beliefs that we're watching, like just, kind of work on mentally imagining it starting to fade away. So for you with that brain dump, if you want to rip it up, write everything out that you need to, rip it up, burn it, like, throw it in the garbage, like whatever it is for you. For some of you, you like to journal, so you keep that journal. It's all good. There's not a right or wrong way to do this. The most important thing, though, is that again, you're taking action on working on finding the clarity for you, finding that place where you don't have to be caught up and being stuck. And you can actively work on being unstuck, right? So again, one way to do that is the brain dump. So yep, someone said, "Oh, hi from LA. Welcome, welcome." Someone said meaning or circle of people a meaningful circle of people is important. Absolutely. Very, very important. Um and again with the brain dump, one of the things I do a lot because I feel like the to-do list always gets long. I always joke with my receptionist sometimes. I'm like, number 50, because she'll say something to me. I'm like, yep, that's number 55 on my to-do list because we have a lot, right, on our plates. And many of us are juggling multiple roles. So sometimes for my brain dump, it's literally like, okay, what's my to-do in whatever category of my life? And sometimes it's like just heavy family stuff going on, or it's heavy work stuff going on, or it's just personal development, or whatever it is. I am writing it out because that just helps it to not keep swimming in your brain. And again, I want to reiterate, these are different tools and tips that I would love for you to try, but we are all very different. So some of you may be like, I've tried this, this doesn't work for me, then it's all good. Then we try something else, right? Or, like I said, if you need the help of someone, a coach, mental health professional, whomever it is, that works too, right? That's allowed to help you on this journey. And the last thing I want to share as I, sort of wrap up this today is to also think about there's a huge thing in psychology that we call reframing, which is one of my favorite things, like reframing your thought process. Because sometimes, again, well, not sometimes, a lot of times we are telling ourselves a story. We're telling ourselves things that are not true. But when you work on reframing, if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, right? Like you're t- you're telling yourself a story versus telling yourself something like, okay, I'm just on a pause, right? I can figure this out. Cause you can, maybe it's not going to be today, but reframing the way you're thinking about something. Because what you tell yourself, sometimes we accidentally create like huge huge negative feelings that we could have avoided, not all the time, but sometimes we accidentally do that. So when you're like, "Oh my god, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I can't believe that," like, right? Versus like, I'm going to figure this out. I might need some help figuring it out, which is okay. I can do this. I can get unstuck. I can move on with my life, right? Like those are the kind of things that you can work on shifting to that thought process. Yep. Someone said anxiety is a big lie. It absolutely is. Someone else said reframing is my favorite too. It so is. And I still practice this. Like I said, a lot of this today is things that I practice too. I mean, these are things that are important and research based and all that good stuff, but things that I personally practice too because I love it and it works. But it really is true. Anxiety is a big lie. A lot of things that we tell ourselves are not even true. It it's weird though, like because when we tell ourselves the stories, though, we feel it's true because we're like, oh yeah, we thought it, and it's like, yeah, you thought it, but it still doesn't necessarily make it true, right? Especially our negative self talk. We've done many mental health moments about negative self talk and the ways to get out of that, which is a journey. But again, remembering, just like you said in the chat here, that anxiety, it really is a big lie. And so is depression. Like there's things that you tell yourself about yourself, and it's just not even true. You are more powerful than you know. You are deserving of having joy. You deserve to have clarity. You deserve to be emotionally happy. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to have all those things, but it's also important for you to be intentional in that process. If you're at a point where you're like, I don't feel like I deserve that, that's okay. Then your job might just be to be working on your worthiness and your feelings of like understanding that you do deserve those things regardless of your past, regardless of past mistakes. Everybody on the planet, we all have mistakes, but you still deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to have clarity. You deserve to be unstuck. You deserve to be mentally free. You deserve all those things. Cognitive distortions. Yes, that's a whole mental health moment about cognitive distortions. Actually, I think we did that a long time ago, so I might have to do that one again. But anyhow, here, so I want you to remember those things as you kind of head into your week here. And yes, someone said you become strong when you have no choice to become strong. That is very true. When you are in the midst of difficult things, you really start to understand how strong you really are. Because sometimes, again, we doubt ourselves. There's so much self doubt. But when you're, again, in the midst of the difficult times, if that is you, I mean, like I said, I think I told you all before 2024. I'm not going to unpack that all now, but in a future book, I'll be writing about that. In my next book, not the next book, maybe the book after that, actually. The next book's a children's book. But the book after that, yeah, I'll write all about 2024 because it was a lot. But like someone said, you really find out and you understand how strong you really are, right? And your strength may come from many different sources. Maybe it's from faith, maybe it's personal, maybe it's friends and family, wherever it's from. But just know that you can get through, right? You can get through. It's very, very possible. Someone said yes. So as I wrap up here, again, I want to remind you all. I said the announcements in the beginning, but I know some of you sometimes come in late. This Friday, June 13th, I'll be in New York City at an author event signing books. drnikishahammond.com/events is where you can go to get that information, registration information if you're in the area. And then Friday, October 24th is the Growth Mindset and Self-Care Summit, which I'll be hosting. This is year two, first year in person, but year two, last year was virtual. And it'll be in Atlanta. I'm super excited to see you all and hopefully meet some of you all there. It'll be 9 a.m. to 4. So it's an all-day event. Gonna have a good time and also learn to take care of ourselves, right? And how to reset and recharge, and just have some great leaders around as well. So again, drnikishahammond.com/events where you can go to get all that information. And the other announcements I made in the beginning was that if you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Dr. Nikisha Hammond. In my stories in the next couple of weeks, I'll be showing some behind the scenes moment of my new documentary that my first documentary, but new documentary that I will be starting to film in Bali. So I'm super excited about that. My family and I went, I think it was 2023, I think. Yeah, the first time that we went, we absolutely fell in love with the place. Beautiful country, like amazing people. Food was good, like everything was amazing. We absolutely loved it. So we're heading back there. And again, I'll be starting my documentary. So if you're on Instagram, I'll be showing all of that behind the scenes in the stories here. And I think those were all my announcements. Yes. But thanks again. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. But thanks again for joining here. I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have an amazing week. Be sure to implement some of the strategies that we talked about today, and I'll see you guys next week.